My name is David Warburton. I am a Korean-Canadian adoptee, and this is my third time back to Korea. I was here twice last year for work, so this is really an opportunity for me to be here as a tourist and to be here for my own personal gains. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this whole trip and experience. It's been very surreal to get off a plane, take an hour bus ride, and then suddenly 30 minutes later be in a room full of adoptees. And I'm Canadian, so before last year I had never even met another Korean adoptee before in my whole life. So to suddenly be in a new country and to meet all these people who have very similar experiences to you, or at least kind of understand what you went through, is it's remarkable.
Hi, my name is Jamie. I'm from the United States. This is my second time here in Korea. I think being here in Korea is just an amazing opportunity. I'm just so happy and thrilled to be here. I think being a part of a group like InKAS is just a complete blessing. The opportunity that we have here to experience Korea with other adoptees is just amazing.
I'm Kim de Jonge from the Netherlands. I just turned 35 years old, and it's my first time with InKAS here. Last time it was about 3 years ago, and the first time I went back to Korea was in about 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago. I feel totally Dutch, but I know there's also a Korean part in me, just biologically. So it's really difficult to deny that part.
I would like to live in Korea. I don't know how realistic that would be, but maybe for a short time. I think I have a desire to learn the language, and I think that may be the best way for me to immerse myself. So we'll see. Like I said, I don't know how realistic that is for my personal life and situation, but if the opportunity arises, I would definitely be open to it. So it actually reminds me of home, but I think it's kind of great to see everybody out with their families and enjoying the beautiful weather and seeing how they like to be out and with each other. And I think this is the one part so far that's actually really has reminded me of home and how it is actually back in the States and how it is very similar. A beautiful night like this is how I would spend my evening with my family back in the States. So.
My name is Adam Young. I'm from Washington, D.C. My Korean name was Jin Jae-soo, and this is my third time in Korea. It was really interesting seeing a lot of families all together, seeing groups of people, and it kind of makes me see what it would have been like to be in Korea when I was a kid. I really like seeing Korean families together. Makes me think a lot. Sometimes it's hard, but it's a great feeling to have.
I would love to go back there. So I'm from Canada, where we have very famous mountains, and so I feel the special bond there. And it was a very short amount of time, but we went on a very memorable hike. It was hard, and I like things that are, you put a lot of effort in, and then you have your moment of success, or you achieved your goal. And so it was a very special moment for the guys who, got lost on the trail, and we went up to the peak. And it's just incredibly beautiful. So that is one of the few places I want to come back if I come back to Korea. So I love hiking too, and nature.
What I really liked the most was the homestay last weekend. It was so good to be in a real Korean family. They were really nice people, and we were really connected. It was really good to be in their family, in their house, and it was really nice to see that that I really had a feeling to fit in their family. And they told me that for them I was really Korean, and that really surprised me because I didn't feel Korean before this trip, and now because I was really touched when they said they see me as a Korean woman, then I thought, but why? But they couldn't explain, and they just said, well, we don't know how to explain, but it's just our feeling.
Yeah, I still feel a bit lost, and it's actually I thought I would feel different. I thought this being my second time in Korea, and I thought I would feel more connected than I actually do, and that's not really the case. So I thought because I look like the people here, that I feel like I'd fit in more because we look the same, but yet that really hasn't been my experience. So I feel like I don't really fit in America. I don't really fit in here, but as I always say, somewhere in between with my fellow adoptees, you know. I feel like we all have this common theme of adoption that kind of binds us together. That, again, when I'm back home as a minority, I don't have amongst my other friends. So, a common understanding that just goes unsaid. So,
Yeah, I think I feel a little bit lost. Not lost in this group because it's really good to be in a group where you might find some other people that really feel lost. But I think for now, for the first time in my life, I feel in between cultures. I feel like, okay, still I feel really Dutch, but in a way I don't feel Dutch, or I am not Dutch totally. But I realize I will not make part of Korean society neither, because I don't speak the language, I don't know the customs, I have no Korean family. So that's really strange, and that gives me in a certain way a feeling of being lost. Yes.
It's becoming more and more clear to me that because I get to know more and more about Korea with each passing day and every experience, it adds to my frame of reference on what it means to be Korean and what is Korean, and that I can now speak about Korean culture with much more authority. And having that confidence and that knowledge really contributes to my own confidence, because it was very difficult for me to say I'm Korean when I didn't know anything about Korean culture. I had never been there, and I didn't know any Korean people. I didn't speak the language. I didn't even think for a long time I looked Korean. But even yesterday, I was at a restaurant and the waitress spoke English to me because, well, she greeted me in Korean and I had to say, I'm sorry, I don't speak Korean very well. And she said, but you were born here because you look Korean. And I said, yes. And so that really touched me, because I never thought of myself as Korean. And then there was this total stranger who said, you must be Korean. So, all those experiences contribute and accumulate, and it's actually very overwhelming. So,
I think by making this trip, I'm really advancing in my personality, or in fact, in my way of thinking about being adopted. Because first, I totally ignored my Korean part, and I totally ignored Korea, and I did that for about 32 years. And only the last 2 years I became aware of my Korean part, and that it's really hard for me, and that it also have been very hard for me to have no Korean family, or to not know them. And I realized that that it's also a part of me. That being Korean, being born in Korean, is also what I am. And I'm not for 100% typically Dutch. And I think by making this trip, I'm really advancing in my way of thinking about that. Yes. Also by talking with other people that made the same, or that had the same feelings and made the same development in their mind.
Well, this is my birth mother. I met her, I guess, about 2 weeks ago, and she's meeting me in InKAS today. This is the last day of the program. Kind of sad that it's ending, but really grateful. I feel like as the trip has progressed, I've definitely felt a lot more connected to Korea than I have ever in the past. Felt a lot of warmth and a lot of love. It's been a really good trip. It was really, really beautiful. The scenery and stuff was great, but the people were beautiful. I really felt welcomed, really warm inside. It was great. You could really feel the connection that they felt towards us, and we kind of felt back towards them.
I feel totally relaxed, and I'm really happy that although I was at a point I was really depressed, that I really refound my inner peace. And I think thanks to my brother and to other people that were really helpful and understanding, and they were really supporting me. So now it's really okay. And I like Korea, and I really enjoyed the trip, and I think it's also, I'm ready to go home now.
I feel emotionally drained. This has been an absolute journey. It's been a remarkable experience to see everyone grow throughout this process and change, and I'll never be the same after doing this. I'm going to remember this forever and treasure these memories forever, and treasure the people that I met here and my new friendships with them. It absolutely exceeded my expectations of just coming to Korea, but meeting incredible people. And because the trip was also hard and on a rigorous schedule, it felt a bit like boot camp, but at the end of it, it also feels rewarding because it was hard and because we all experienced the same struggles and the same pace and the same endurance. And so we really feel like we accomplished something together as a group. Whereas if we had had too much free time or been by ourselves, perhaps we wouldn't have shared such a close, intimate experience together.
I was like angry towards Korea prior to the trip, kind of like a little bitter emotion, but I feel really at peace and at ease now, and I don't know if the opportunity arose. If the opportunity came about later to maybe come back for an more extended period of time, I think I would definitely do it. So, yes, I definitely feel like I'm part of a family. Coming from a very small, non-diverse town that I live in, where I'm the only Asian adoptee, I feel like I finally have people that understand the way I feel and can relate, and it definitely feels like I'm definitely not alone now. So I would tell adoptees to definitely come on this trip. It is completely worth it, and you'll experience Korea your experience here in Korea will be so much richer if you come on the trip with InKAS. It's just an amazing experience. So you should definitely do it.